I hit all of those achievements in corporate America, and I wasn't happy. It was an addiction. It was an
Mhm.
addiction to success and to achievement.
Hey, my name is Veronica Cisneros, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, a mama of 3 girls, and married for 23 years. I am obsessed with helping you navigate through the seasons of marriage, helping couples like you break free from feeling like roommates. I will teach you the secrets to having a healthy marriage by providing tools and tips to help you reconnect in a way that you can't keep your hands off each other, where flirting and kissing is the norm in your household. Setting intentional time to date, get to know and support each other's dreams and goals so that you can grow together without keeping score or judging one another. Where you feel seen and heard even when you disagree. Where arguments end with mutual respect and understanding. Where you work together to build and strengthen your family so no one feels like they're carrying the weight of the family on their own. These are the necessary skills your children need for you to model so that they develop healthy relationships and thrive in life. This is the Empowered and Unapologetic Podcast. Hey ladies, welcome to the Empowered and Unapologetic Podcast. I am your host, Veronica Cisneros. Today's guest is an executive level mindset and manifestation coach, #1 international best-selling author, registered nurse, and will be a featured speaker at TEDx Huntington Beach in September 2023. Oh my gosh, I totally got to see you. Wait a minute, did that already happen?
Did, yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God, that did. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm like, wait a minute, where's that? Where's that?
Like, what? I
Holy
don't even
moly,
know
Jen.
either.
Holy moly, Jen. Okay, we got to talk about how that went. She specializes in empowering high achieving women to access their flow so they can live an abundant, creative, and joyful life without the hustle. So please help me by welcoming my guest, Jenn Adamson. Hey, Jen.
Hi, Veronica. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I love your energy. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
So before we get into the TEDx, um, tell me about you. And one thing I really, really, truly want to know is at what point did you feel like I can't do this anymore? And you
Yeah.
knew change needed to happen.
Yeah.
Take me there.
Yeah. I love that. So I'm going to share something that happened. So I have 2 stories. There's almost two pivotal moments where I hit rock bottom. And I'm going to share the one that happened most recently because that is what has really catapulted me and launched me forward to where I am today. So that happened, I would say, all the way back to 2019, beginning of 2020. I
Yeah.
was in a really unhealthy relationship. I was across the country away from my family in a town that I didn't vibe with. And I was so out of touch with myself, so disconnected to who I was that I was a shell of a person. I was a new mom as well. So I was also battling with a lot of postpartum depression and anxiety and learning the ropes of just how to navigate motherhood
Mm-hmm.
without completely losing myself, which is what I ended up doing for some time.
Yeah.
And through that process, I chose to move out of that relationship. I knew that I didn't know how or what my life was going to look like. But what I did know for sure is that I didn't want my daughter to know that this is what love looked like.
Yes.
Who was a shell of a person, who felt miserable, who was exhausted and burnt out. I didn't know what the road was. I didn't know how to take the steps, but I just trusted almost blindly and leaned into my faith and took those steps. And what happened shortly after that is that I was a nurse leader to 75 nurses and CNAs. I had just taken on this new position and it was March 9th, 2020. So it was right
Mm.
at the start of COVID.
Holy moly.
And while that was happening, simultaneously, my dad was dying very suddenly, very close to death. He had passed away April 10th of 2020
Oh my gosh,
from
Jen.
leukemia, and he was one of my biggest cheerleaders in my life, biggest cheerleaders. Someone I could show all parts of me and show my vulnerable side, and he was the one that I would call when I was starting nursing school saying, "Dad, I don't know if I can do this. Can I do this?"
Yeah.
And he would be the one to really encourage me. So it was a culmination of all of these things that from the outside looking in really looked like and it felt like a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Was going through some massive changes, and I wasn't sure how I was going to navigate it. But the biggest thing that I learned particularly with my dad passing away, was that I was not living in alignment to myself. I was not living to fulfill my purpose in life, and life was too short. What my dad taught me in his leaving this earth and now being my heavenly angel and my creative director in my business is that it was time for me to stop beating around the bush, and it was time for me to start really stepping into who I am and what my power was.
Yes. What did you find your power was?
Oh, I love that question. I feel like I'm continuously finding this and it's evolving.
Yeah.
But what really lights me up is empowering women to step into their power, and that it's practice,
Yeah.
that that exercising our authentic power, and this is the power of who we are, the essence of who we are.
Yeah.
Because when we can really understand who the essence of who we are is, we realize how magnetic that is and how much of that creates a transformative ripple effect in the world. But we have to start with those first few steps and understanding that it's not the striving for perfection, it's the progress. It's the putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
It's the radical belief in ourselves, even when our circumstances don't look like that right now. There were lots of times where I thought there's this reel going out right now where I think the question is how did you get the confidence to do what you're doing?
Mhm.
And it's joking, but it says I'm delusional. And I know that
I'm like, I
there's some
totally get that. I
right? Yes,
totally get that.
exactly. As a therapist, I think you can understand what I mean by
Yes. Yes.
it's really truly holding that belief and that vision and understanding what it is and allowing ourselves to go there as women
Yeah.
and tapping into our deepest desires of what it is that we want. And then making the decisive and taking the decisive action to know that we are worthy of this. We are worthy of receiving and experiencing joy and pleasure and transformation in our lives.
Yeah. I think where a lot of women get stuck is we tend, especially high achieving women, we tend to go ahead and put our heads down,
Yeah.
and we do strive for perfection in by avoiding what's currently happening.
Yeah.
We're avoiding the now. I hear that a lot, I can't experience the now because I haven't established or I haven't accomplished this goal. I can't
Yeah.
experience the now with my kids. I can't experience and live intentionally because I'm not deserving of it. There's still so many more things to do. Once I get those things done, then I can go ahead and relish in my success. And, you know, another thing that I hear a lot of high achieving women say is there's so many people I have to protect. There's so many people I have to protect. I have to protect my partner. I have to protect my kids. I have to make sure that they're all okay and minimize, you know, my own success. I can't celebrate my success, and I won't celebrate my success because it came with their sacrifice,
Mm.
right? What do you
Yeah,
say to women that
absolutely.
are in that struggle?
Well, that is something, both of those were thoughts and continue to sometimes on some varying degree be the thoughts that I have. And
Yeah.
so right, because no matter what, we are moms and I'm in my soulmate love relationship with my partner. And so my life has expanded in some really beautiful ways. And so where I was, 15 years ago when I was in corporate and I was consulting Fortune 500 companies and moving up the corporate ladder, I was burning myself out.
Yeah.
I didn't have the forethought, or no, I wasn't a mom at the time. So
Oh,
there wasn't that understanding. And so it's absolutely, you're on point with this narrative that as females that we tend to have with ourselves. So the first thing that you hit on is a I will be happy when. It's almost as
yes.
if it's that I can't relax right now. There's no way I can lighten up and experience joy because I have 1,000 things on my to-do list right now.
Hmm.
And it's that classic symptom of I will be happy when. And here's the thing, Veronica. Here's the thing. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in that cycle of I will be happy when. And I hit all of those milestones. I hit all of those achievements in corporate America. And I wasn't happy. It was an addiction. It was an
Hmm.
addiction to success and to achievement. And what I've learned and what I've understood and what I take my clients through, and they've learned and understood, is that we have to be where our feet are right here, right now.
Yeah.
Be where your feet are. Be where your feet are here in this present moment. Now, I know that we can't do that 100%. We are inundated with information. We
Of
receive
course.
11 million bits of data every second, and our conscious mind can only take in 50 bits in that 1 second. So
Hmm.
we have to give ourselves some grace and some compassion. Yet, when you can realize, when you can set the intention in the morning to be like, I'm going to do my best to be where my feet are. So, if my feet are with my daughter in the morning and I'm making her breakfast, maybe that means that I'm not checking my phone for emails, that I can trust myself enough that when the time it comes, when I've dropped off my daughter and I'm here at my desk, now it's my time to work. Now it's my time to be where my feet are in coaching my clients and collaborations and partnerships, like having
Hmm.
this podcast interview. It's a practice. And that's why I said before, stepping into our power, it's a practice. It's about
Yes.
allowing ourselves to be here now. But it is those moments, those small, ordinary moments when we can practice being present, is when we experience immense satisfaction, fulfillment, and joy. It's those moments when I feel so filled up by the moment, like just you and I right now having this conversation.
Hmm.
I feel so filled up when I am snuggling with my daughter on the couch watching Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
It's those moments that bring and fill us up that we need to trust. We must trust that that is sending out some really powerful vibrations into the universe to allow us to attract more of that because we become
Hmm.
a match of who we are. We
Yes.
will we will never be fully satisfied. This is the practice because then what happens is in the road to, I air quote, success. The
Hmm.
true measurement of success is really who we become in the process of reaching our goals.
Yeah.
Because we hit our goals and we haven't created and really cultivated this sense of joy and presence and progress over perfection, we will never be fully satisfied and fulfilled when we
Yeah.
reach those goals.
Yeah.
We just won't. We'll be like, okay, what's next? And it will be coming from this lack mentality of never enough, lack of abundance, lack of joy, lack of fulfillment. So that's what I say for the first part because I catch myself doing that too. Believe me, I am a high achiever, I'm a go-getter, and
Right.
I will never change. I love that quality. I also know that it has a time and a place, and there is that fine line where I can take it to the point of obsession.
Yes.
That's when I get to recognize and go back to my practices. That's why I truly do practice what I preach, and it's time and time and time again. It is an ongoing process. It never is just a one and done.
No.
And then the second thing you talked about was protecting my family, protecting my spouse, and I 100% understand that too. We have to take it back to as where we were as little girls.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've heard this in your background, with your background, your as a therapist, is that we were socialized a lot differently than boys were.
Yeah.
We were taught to often, more often than not, this isn't always true, but more often than not, I heard, be good, don't rock the boat, don't be
Hmm.
disruptive,
Hmm.
be nice, play nice, share with others.
Yeah.
And yes, these are all good qualities to have, but at what cost?
Bingo.
there's nuances, right? Life is not static, nor are we. We are dynamic women. So, can we trust ourselves enough to, on a moment to moment, case by case basis in our lives, to prioritize and reprioritize and learn and look at it at the bigger picture of, okay, so I'm growing and building my business. And it does take a lot of hours to coach clients and to host workshops and to facilitate retreats. And so can I look at the bigger picture of where are the times where I can create that harmony? So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe in the word balance, because I think sometimes when we use the word balance, it can put pressure on ourselves that it has to be equal parts, or then that comes to that point of like perfection again. This is for me personally.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what I've learned is that I'm always working to purposefully setting up harmony.
Yeah.
So there might be a weekend where my boyfriend is out of town right now. He's doing his thing, and he's doing a tour in Charleston, South Carolina, and my daughter is with her dad. And so
Yeah.
this is a weekend where I get to have time for myself. So what am I going to do? How am I going to utilize that time wisely?
Yeah.
So it's all about, because we are, as women, we're these natural caretakers. And so that is our superpower. It is not a curse. It is not a it's a gift. It's
Definitely.
truly a gift. And so then we get to question as well the narratives that we might be telling ourselves of, am I being selfish because of this? Okay. Well, have you been spending maybe more time doing this? And do you want to spend more time participating in your child's school fair?
Yeah.
Okay, great. What can you do to create that intersection of harmony? Might you need to delegate things? Might you need to say no to a few things? Might you need to rearrange a few things?
Mhm.
So this is a fluidity thing. This is like going with the flow of our
Yep.
life, right? So
Yep.
one day is going to look different than the other. And how can we practice that level of acceptance that every day is going to be different? And also, how can we practice, again, the word
Yeah.
practice harmonizing all the different areas of our business, our life, our personal life, our relationships?
I know looking for the right therapist can be challenging. However, feeling overwhelmed and disconnected is even harder. Life is filled with several twists and turns, some more severe than others. We do our best to handle them as they come and find ourselves at a loss, not knowing what to do or who to turn to. The clinicians here at Outside the Norm Counseling are here to help. We are here to assist you through this time of need. Together, we will identify your strengths and goals and teach you healthy coping skills. Together, we will develop a plan to help you live the life you want to live. Our team is compassionate, genuine, and we take a great deal of pride in providing an empathetic, non-judgmental approach to all of our clients. It's time! You've waited long enough, whether it be for you, your child, or if you're in need of a couple session. We are highly trained clinicians ready to guide you. Schedule an appointment now by calling 951-395-3288. Again, that number is 951-395-3288. We're looking forward to meeting you and being a part of your journey.
Yeah. The biggest thing, as you're saying that, practice,
Mm,
practice this change. The biggest thing that comes up for me is there was a time where my biggest goal was to, be able to take the kids to school in the morning.
mhm,
I was working at a hospital, and the hospital would start, I would start my day at like 7:30 in the morning.
mhm,
And the kids would start their morning at, I think, close to 8. So I wasn't able to take the girls to school. I had a nanny. And I remember being frustrated with that. Like, gosh, and then I'd be off by 4, and then I would go from the hospital to my office, and then I would work and see some of my patients until about, like, 8 or 9,
mhm,
and then, get home in time to maybe put them to bed, or they were already, in bed. And I remember just feeling so frustrated. And it's like, okay, Veronica, just keep your head down, keep hustling, do the work, and now
it's like, okay, I am able to take the girls and pick them up from school, and there's still that voice like, okay, well, you still have to get all of this work done and you still have to do all of these things. And, there's all of these timelines, especially with owning a business. Um, and one thing that I definitely forgot was there was a time when I was so jealous of that mom walking her daughter to school. And, I'm watching her walk her daughter to school and feeling so guilty because I couldn't even drop off my kid,
Yeah.
let alone walk her. And now I'm in this place where I can have these conversations with my kids in the morning and pick them up. I wasn't there before. And
Yeah.
it's like it's just constantly reminding myself like that right there is success. Like that
Absolutely.
right there, you are experiencing success, and going back to like remember the time, remember before all of these things happen, like your goals were to, have the things that you currently have now, right?
Oh, yes, you are resonating so much to what
Mhm.
I too have been experiencing. And the one thing that comes to mind is the gift of time.
Yes.
Like, we are meant to live our lives forward, but the way that we understand life is by looking backwards. We don't wanna stay looking
Yeah.
backward too long, right? Because that has implications as well. But allowing yourself, Veronica, I love that you share that you allowed yourself the time to reflect
Mhm.
on the years leading up to where you are, and how amazing and beautiful it is that you're illustrating just what our lives are like, because now you have new goals. Now you have set new milestones for you.
Yeah.
And how stunning it is that you have had this understanding. Wow, I am where I wanted to be
Yeah.
a year ago, 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and you get to layer on. And so
Yep.
this is where the beauty is. It's not like, I like to use the word layer because it can often be like, okay, if we don't allow ourselves the time to really truly reflect, we will start to pile things on. And that's
Yes.
what causes burnout. That's what causes burnout and us spinning our wheels and depleting our energy. But giving ourselves time to reflect. And this doesn't need to be, an hour every day meditating. I don't have time. My ADHD brain has a hard time meditating, okay? I do my best. But for me, I have
Well,
different
we're
tools
all
and
here agreeing with you, right?
yes, different tools and techniques for different people, right? And
Yes.
I
Yes.
also wanna say, like, we are always our own best guru, right? No one is a guru of your life. You know yourself better than anyone else does.
Mhm.
And so let's stop beating around that and let's start taking ownership of that as women, okay? We know ourselves better than anyone else. You
Yes.
are the guru of your own life. Now, coaches, therapists, wonderful people to have. I have all, because we need to have the
We need it.
support. Right, exactly, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, I teach my clients, like, take what resonates and leave the rest if it doesn't resonate with you, because you are your own best guru, and so tools and techniques are gonna look different to different people. It's not a one size fits all, and I love that you use this tool of reflection because I too do that, and I do a lot of journaling when I have time.
Mhm.
More than often than not, I'll take a few minutes before bed or after I wake up to just reflect, to just
Yes.
reflect. And that's something that I've experienced too, is over the years of growing my business, I have new achievements that to hit. I have new
Mhm.
benchmarks to hit. And I get to now realize and look back and say, wow, look how far I've made it.
Yeah.
Because I too wanted to be, I get to volunteer at my daughter's
Yeah.
kindergarten class
Yeah.
now. This is amazing. I used to be so sad because I couldn't do that because I was clocking in and punching in to do a shift as well at the hospital. And now I get to have this freedom. So recognizing that the gift of time really, like, trust the process. If you're in a place right now where, again, I shared, the circumstances are kind of all up in the air and
Yeah.
you're not where you want to be yet, keep staying the course. Keep staying the course, keep following your intuition, keep asking for support from people that are trusted advisors, and keep taking it one step at a time, because over time, in a year, in 6 months, in 3 weeks, who knows? I can't put a timeline on it. You
Yeah.
are going to look back and make sure you're celebrating that. make sure you're celebrating that in some way. And you are by noticing it and recognizing
Mhm.
it.
I
That's
love
the
that.
that's the journey,
Mhm.
right? That's the ongoing journey.
So, with us wrapping up, I wanted to ask how how would we know we're stepping into our superpower?
Ooh, I love that. I love that. If it feels expansive and a little scary, I'd say you're on the right track. If it feels really big and slightly scary, I think you're on the right track.
Mhm. Mhm. What is one tip that you want to give the high achieving woman who's listening to you right now?
Mhm. Give yourself time to reflect.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't need to be an hour every day of meditation. It can just be in the morning. A practice that I like to use is, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? And what would you have me say?
Mm.
Boom. So I'll answer those questions, and then I trust, right? That I've already created some positive momentum. I've already started the day off.
Oh my
And
gosh, that made me wanna cry right now. Like, that was so beautiful. Can you repeat that? Like,
yeah, so absolutely. So the questions I ask are, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? And I
mm,
can't remember, but I heard that years ago from someone else. And that is a practice that I love to use.
yeah,
And then at the end, sometimes I'll list 5 things. If I have time, I'll write them, but oftentimes lately I don't have time.
yeah.
Sometimes it's when I'm snuggling with my daughter and she's falling asleep, I'll list mentally 5 things that I'm grateful for, or I'll answer the question, what magic did I witness today?
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
One thing that I started to do in the mornings, just to bring myself back, to gratitude and appreciation, um, I'll look outside my window. So my window's like right next to, on my side, and I'll look outside and just like, just for me, thank God.
I love that.
Like, thank you for allowing me to wake up in the morning. Thank you for, the man, my husband, who is laying right next to me snoring. Thank you for, the children you blessed me, even though there are times where I want to shake them, but like,
Yeah,
like, thank you for allowing me to live this, imperfectly perfect, blessed, beautiful, whatever, life. Like, I get to experience my kids breathing and living. I get to experience my husband breathing, living. I get to experience love. I get to experience the day. Like, thank you for allowing me, to wake up and, get to experience life.
it truly is a gift. And I think I think if you've experienced, and I'm sure we all have had some degree of hitting rock bottom,
Oh gosh, yes.
and it it although it doesn't feel that way at the time, now that I can 3 years, 4 years
Yeah,
a distance from
yeah,
that, allowing that time to say thank you and to give gratitude to the things that seem so small and minute are it takes me back to the moments when I may not have even had that
yeah,
in the first place. So I
yeah,
love that you share that. It
yeah.
it it almost comes it allows us to that is truly the power of presence, right?
Absolutely.
Come back to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jen, this was amazing. This was so amazing. How can so for the ladies that want to work with you, that want to know all about you, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm there super active, and it's I am Jenn Adamson, and that's Jen, Jenn. And then you can also find me on my website. I'd actually love to offer a freebie to anyone who
Yes.
is listening. So if you're just like, I don't know where to start, help me, I need some help, I got you. You can go to jennadamson.com//joyful purpose. And inside there, it's a free bundle of a workbook and a free audio meditation to start regulating your nervous system. It's a great way if you want to start reflecting. It's only 8 minutes long. It's a great opportunity to just start there and then take your time through the workbook. It's about 4 pages long, but they're really deep, profound journal prompt questions that will help you to start connecting with yourself more.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. You guys have to sign up for that. You guys definitely have to sign up for that. And let us know how it goes. Like, did you like the experience? What did you learn from the experience? What are you going to do differently? Jen,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Veronica. This was such a joy. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Raise your hand if you are ready to level up your marriage for 2023. Do you find that you're spending your time together with your husband checked out and in front of the TV? I know you're ready for tangible strategies that actually get you results. Reignite the spark in your marriage, have fun, and grow together. Well, I hope you have your hand raised at this minute because I have something special for you. I'm introducing my brand new 6-question marriage predictor quiz that's gonna give you personalized results to catapult you into the next stage of your marriage journey. That means you'll receive the results to where your marriage can get the best help. If you've got just 1 minute, head to veronicacisneros.org/quiz. Again, that's veronicacisneros.org/quiz, and you could take my brand new quiz, Marriage Predictor. Get your results delivered right to your email address. Again, that's veronicacisneros.org/quiz, veronicacisneros.org/quiz. What's up, ladies? Just want to let you guys know that your ratings and reviews for this podcast are greatly appreciated. If you love this podcast, please go to iTunes right now, write a review, rate the episode, and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with your friends.
Addiction impacts all of us. Addiction's consequences run through all of us. From ourselves to our loved ones and through our communities, addiction creates so much loss and grief. My name is Dwayne Osterlin, and I'm the host of the Addicted Mind podcast, a show featuring personal stories, expert guests, and vital information about addiction and addiction recovery. We'll talk with leading treatment providers to discuss the latest research and treatment options for this devastating disease and advocate for mental health awareness. We discuss topics like the importance of creating a community of support, to helping loved ones, to some of the latest research on psychedelic medicines. The Addicted Mind podcast has been about creating hope, listening to stories of many amazing people that have overcome addiction and are thriving. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, subscribe to the Addicted Mind podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or check out theaddictedmind.com. New episodes every Monday. See you there.
Oh, hey, it's Erin.
And I'm Michaela, and we're the hosts of the Two Sober Girls podcast, and we are on a mission to spill the wild truth about sobriety.
Forget the rosé all day cliche. Sobriety is flipping amazing.
Absolutely. It's not just about quitting the drink. It's a gift you give yourself and your loved ones.
So what are you waiting for? Break up with that old toxic relationship with alcohol and let us show you the possibilities.
And here's the thing. Everything your precious heart desires becomes way easier without the influence of alcohol.
We're not just two sober girls, we're also wellness coaches. We're here to show you how to optimize health, lifestyle, and beauty, feel sexy and alive as F.
So stay tuned because we're rolling out new episodes every Monday wherever you get your podcasts, and trust us, they have your name written all over them. We can't wait to share the magic of sobriety and wellness with you. Subscribe to Two Sober Girls podcast today and come follow us on Instagram for behind the scenes action and send us a DM. We can't wait to meet you.